are back.
Believe it or not.
I know, right? I didn't think this day was ever really going to happen, but hi, I'm Chrissy, finally a farm girl with my bestie.
I'm Linda, Stitchy Linda.
And we are here today for a long overdue FlossTube with you guys. Since we've met with you last, we've done some retreats. We've had some weird illness things I feel like both of us have participated in.
Yeah.
Since Stitch, Florida. And then we have some future things. So we will get you up to date in this FlossTube. And hopefully you might want to grab yourself something to drink and snack on because it could get bouncy, all over the place and or long. So
yeah, I mean, I couldn't remember. I had to actually go back and watch the last one to figure out where we were and what we hadn't talked about. So it looked like right about that time, it may have been like the first part of July, because we were talking. I was talking about going to Sit and Stitch Ocala, which had not happened yet. And so we did, and I've got notes because I was afraid I was going to miss something, but right before Sit and Stitch Ocala, my friend Diane came up and spent the night, and we started going through my stash.
Right.
And we pulled out lots and lots of stuff, and I finally decided that some of the stuff I've already stitched was just, I'm not going to stitch it again.
Right.
So I kind of pulled some stuff to send to, we have a visitor over here.
Oscar the cat's decided he needs to be in on this.
Yeah, he's coming.
He likes Linda.
Yeah, because he looks just like my Oscar, actually. Yeah, there he is. He's going to visit.
You're the famous cat.
Yeah,
Oscar.
So we pulled stuff, and I actually was able to give some stuff to Michelle and Teresa for them to do for their door prizes.
I have some too. Remind me.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Sit and Stitch Ocala was like right next, and you're going to get a little visit here. Baby. Okay, there we go. Okay. And it was great. A brand new place where they're doing the one-day events.
Really nice.
This is a one-day event that's put on by Michelle and Teresa. They're two of the stitchers from Brick City Stitchers. And it's a really nice place. I think she said it holds up to 80, but I think she may have had 70. Very comfortable, easy to walk around. They are having another one September 21st if you're in the area, or there was even a lot of people from like an hour away. He's really being an Oscar today, like my Oscar.
Showing
I guess he likes my. He wants to rub up against me.
Our Oscar baby.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that plus. No. Maybe he just wants to. Come on, baby, do something. He's like, you've taken all my space.
Yeah. He says, what are we doing here? This is where I normally am.
Okay, you talk, I'll look.
Okay. So it was really good. And like I said, if you want to go, there's one September 21st, and I think they still have room. Okay. And you can go to Sit and Stitch Ocala on Facebook. They have a Facebook group that you can join.
Okay.
So that was just kind of about that. Then I guess our next thing was Stitch Florida.
Yeah, and I don't think we've had a chance. I know so many people. It's sold out. Stitch Florida 2025 was announced there, and I knew then that by the time I got home that Sunday that I just was going to go right out and and sign up. And I think that it was probably something you've already heard, and we don't have to go through too much. Too much time has passed, but I will say that both Annie.
Phenomenal job.
Annie and Alicia did a phenomenal job on a very first retreat of that size, 150 people. I think there were a few things that obviously they learned and they are going to change, and the location has changed, which I think the lesser we're in the downtown hubbub, the better. I wasn't really supposed to participate much more than be a vendor in this situation, but situations changed, and Randy was able to watch Philip, so I was able to stay on a couple of the days for longer than what I thought. We tried to pull off the FlossTube. It's never going to be perfect when you're doing it live. It's just going to be, but I really liked the chance that we could have so many people come in and say hi to you, and that's really part of what all of this is about. And that's why we go to these retreats. It's just so fun, and you think, am I not going to see you for a year? We've toyed around with StitchCon signups right around the corner here, coming up in September. Phenomenal video that Barbara put out with the final number being at 78,000 raised for her cause this year at StitchCon 2024. But I think this next 2025, I'm going to change a little bit of my direction, and I'm not going to be attending StitchCon. I say that, and it's going to be very, very hard to not pull that trigger.
We hadn't really had a chance to talk much since Stitch Florida, actually, and not even much then. But
no, I think I saw you StitchCon.
Yeah.
And then we were basically waiting for the July for Stitch Florida, and I hadn't seen you.
We haven't seen each other. And so it came up the other day when the sign-up was, and I went, oh, now, we kind of said on the way back,
yeah,
maybe we won't do
maybe a break.
Year. Maybe we need to take a break. And then we're both kind of going, oh, but we're going to miss,
we said it on the way up.
That's right.
And then,
the way up.
And then when
and
you
then on the way back, like, well, maybe not.
How do you not be, because I think the part that pulls you in is really that community.
It's the people.
The community people, and then the auction and the things that not all retreats have.
Right.
So I don't. We really were torn, but it is a long distance for us.
Yeah, it is.
And I have missed Philip's birthday. I don't want to do that every year.
Yeah.
And so I think that the drive, I think next year, 2025, is going to be about staying a little bit closer to home. So
Definitely.
hit the southern states, and because there is a Stitch Florida now, and because it was so well received.
And we just have so many things going on. And actually, this part, not even necessarily Florida, but we've got some things, in the southern part where it's at least not so far to get to.
Right.
The drive is becoming a little bit more harder for me with having some back issues.
Right.
And so
literally, you came to Stitch Florida, and Gerald, her husband, was having he thought he was having a poison ivy reaction.
I was going to tell that story.
Yeah, and it was not a poison ivy reaction.
No.
So you go ahead and share that.
Yeah, well, actually, I mean, it's kind of been like we talked about a lot of doctors and things happening on our side. Actually, before Stitch Florida, I had ended up taking him to urgent care because even though this sounds funny, he had the hiccups one night after dinner.
Right, bizarre episode that wouldn't go away.
They lasted all day, all night, and finally the next day I said, we could go to urgent care. So luckily, they did something to tone them down, but now he's got some appointments around that kind of thing. Well, before Stitch Florida, he had been out weed eating in the yard and thought that he had gotten into poison ivy or poison oak, and it was on his face. And there were like 3 spots. I was a little reluctant, and I actually FaceTimed him every day I was gone.
He looked like a mugshot.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she was like, he sent a picture, and go him. Yeah. When a man sends a selfie,
that's
how do I look? And you're like, whoa.
And he's not real good with a smartphone. Anyway, Friday I wasn't able to, something didn't work, and then Saturday when I talked, and of course we went home Saturday. My son picked me up from Diane's, and we came home, and we were meeting my husband to go out to dinner, and he pulls up, and it looked like somebody had hit him with a baseball bat.
Oh, yeah, she sent me his picture, and
He was like, and not only that, but when he got out of the car, he said, I have double vision. And I went,
I'm looking on TV. They came out, it's backwards.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I can't do it.
So, so he gets out of the car, and he's been driving to meet us at this restaurant, and he has double vision. So Sunday we ended up at urgent care and then ER. And I think they were more concerned that maybe you had a stroke or something like that. So that all got tested out.
Sure, the vision is scary.
The minute we walked in, they went, oh, shingles. And we both looked at each other and went, we had no idea what it was. I'd never seen shingles.
Right.
He wasn't contagious because they were dried by this time.
Right.
So then it involved an ophthalmologist within the next week to get that checked out. Unfortunately, he still has double vision and more doctor appointments, but his spots are all gone on his face.
That's good.
He only got it on one side of his face.
Yeah.
And there were only like 3 spots. But
he's very. I think it's great that he caught it early. I mean, I've heard that that's the essential part because it can be so excruciating. But I think that the frustration is in that vision.
The frustration is in the vision. He's used to, of course, when I'm gone running errands, and he actually did all the grocery shopping and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, it's been.
And then we got home. I was
And then
fine.
you-
I was fine for like, I think, several days, a few days for
Yep.
sure. I did some catching up, visited with my dad, and on Wednesday night last week, I guess it was the week before that, did dinner with Dad, and I came home and I was just kind of feeling really tired and a little achy, nothing bad. But then full on the next day, I thought I had COVID. I really thought I had gotten COVID. The aches were intense.
And you were exhausted.
And I had no energy, and then the cough started. And so anyways, I ended up with bronchitis and upper respiratory infection. To me, I waited too long because I kept thinking we had also had Tropical Storm Debbie come through.
Yes.
And so I get allergies after when these systems come in. We all do in our family, and a lot of people are like, oh, I got a headache. Well, you know that when it passes through, it's all of that moving. And I really pushed it off to that, not taking care of myself as much. And then I talked to Annie, proper stitcher. She got home from Stitch, Florida, and had bronchitis, and I mean a very bad case.
Okay.
So luckily between inhaler and 4 other steroids, I feel like finally I could tell Linda, because I did pass on last weekend doing
we were
going to do
it. And she was like,
I'm like, I can't even get through. I couldn't even talk.
Yeah.
So anyways, we are healthier, and I think we are ready to move forward. So why don't we want to touch base or show some good stuff?
Yeah, I thought maybe I have some fully finishes.
I say we go for it and show them some good stuff.
And the first one is...
So we're talking FFOs. Fully finished.
We're going to get some.
This
is the SAL that Peter and I were doing, and it was called the Simply Awesome SAL, and it was Bent Creek's Simply Seasons charts, the 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And what we had decided to do is just do the houses with the verbiage on it and not all the alphabets.
Right.
I chose to do them, and I may have shown this before I got it framed.
I feel like you did before it was framed.
And it's in kind of like a creamish colored frame, and I love it. Winter at the top and then going down. Now, I saw Peter and I stitched together a week ago Saturday, maybe at the shop, and he has he's doing 2 on the top. He's doing some verbiage in the middle. He's done a sentence of some type, and then 2 more on the bottom. And he has the top 2 done, and the sentence is done. And I wished I would have got a picture, and I did not. He's not real good about posting on social media.
He posts his finishes.
Yeah, he'll post.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think it turned out great. I love it. It was stitched on 32 count dirty.
I need you to up your framing game and get museum glass. Would you do that for the viewers here?
I know.
Do it for the viewers.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, there you go.
And Pam, one of our local framers, is the one that framed it. And this, there was something else I was going to say about this, and I can't remember. Well, Peter's got his, and hopefully he'll be able to show his soon. Yeah. He should be finishing it soon.
It's really, really cute. And I think you did great with the beige frame in the sense that I think it pulls out all that white, like whether it's the snow or the shutters. Right. I think it pulls all the seasons together.
Right.
So
the only thing, and I'll say this, and I know it's just me, but that top house, which is winter, what we had to do with some of the charts is because some of the alphabet was actually like on top of that house.
Right. You had to modify.
I had to add a floor.
Mm-hmm.
I added a floor to the house.
Look, you couldn't tell.
And I know it, and it looks a little funny to me compared to the other houses. But I think it turned out good.
It really, really did. Yeah. All right, and we got a fun one.
Yeah, then my next one is the one that I did. It was the Building Block Sal, and it was with Missy and Joy, Carolina Stitchers. They had a building block sale, and so Joy actually showed her summer Snapperland, which that's what this is.
This at all?
Yeah, it's got a little there. That's pretty good. And so I pulled mine out, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to stitch it, and I found a piece of fabric, and it's on 32 count Sea Mist from Barefoot Needle Arts.
Yeah.
And I loved it. It was actually kind of a quick stitch, but it was fun.
You flew through I just wanted to get closer because the details of these little ones are so cute. Yes. That lighthouse and that, oh my gosh.
And it had buttons that came with it. I did put the buttons on. What I did not do is these were called Snapperland, so they had snaps.
Right.
I tried to put it on, and I don't know, I just kind of thought it took away from the way I wanted it to look.
Yeah.
So I left them off.
And of course, Pam's matting, custom mats, just
perfect.
In this situation on this one, I think it's just perfect.
Yeah. And I have to tell a story. I had not seen it.
Right.
It was sitting at Brick City when some of the group from Stitch, Florida had gone up. Tammy and Missy and Holly.
Several that were coming south to go to Stitch, Florida, made a visit to Brick City.
And so it was laying out on the table, and Tammy Totten says to me, "I love your piece." And I'm going, "Which one?" Because I've got a few models at Brick City. Sure. And she said, "Well, it was laying out on the table." She took a picture of it. I hadn't even seen it. And I said, "Can I see it?" So she showed me the picture. And I know she was looking for it, and unfortunately, I had given away the charts. But I did find a source for her, so I think she's going to get it. But what this has done, though, is I wanted to stitch fall. So now, and we'll talk about that in the upcoming what's going to happen.
I'm excited. I think eventually you're going to have them all, and I think that's what's kind of been fun about going back to some old stash.
Finding stuff. I really do.
We've done, I mean, you're going to notice we're out on the lanai right now, and we have decided, my husband and I, we are thinking, the house is officially on the market, our house is, with the idea of downsizing one more time. And that sounds silly, but at the same time, for us, it's really ultimately will be the three of us. And with the amount of traveling that I now do that I didn't do before, it's just, there's some space in this house we don't use and don't put to good use. So we basically prepared to move, packed most things up, gotten it ready, which was such a refreshing and good thing to do. I think everybody should pretend to move once a year. But going back and packing up the sewing stuff, which there's a couple of pieces, I just am so sorry that they're not here because they were really special gifts. I've shared pictures, but you really go back, and when you're packing and you see, the things that you've had that you've loved, I know 2025 for me is all going to be about finishing, like I said before, finishing maybe the bigger whips, whatever I've got, and really going back and doing some of these smalls. I am determined. I have so many big, I've got a good size sampler wall. I won't put my fall up now with it, and I gifted. You're holding on to your seat. You don't even know this one. This is going to take her by a shocker. I gifted. I feel like I grew up. I gifted my very first big stitched piece to someone, and I had been thinking about it for a while, and it's just whatever. And my sister was here for a visit. She came down last week and did a professional. Why can't I think of it? I want to call it a retreat, but it's a conference. She doesn't do the retreat. But anyway, she did a conference in Orlando, and then she swung by and stopped up. And in pulling all of my samplers, there's no stitching on the walls anymore, hardly, to fill the holes and do all that. And I gifted her first Thanksgiving. She recently, she lives in Marietta, Georgia, and she painted her dining room almost like it's a Ralph Lauren deep green. And she's got like this black hutch, and it's a dining room that sets to itself, and it's just beautiful in there. And she had very neutral curtains, and so I just kept thinking their family does things a little differently, where she's got her kids are older, and they sit around her Thanksgiving meal later at night. Okay. And I just kept visualizing that piece would be so appreciated. And so Philip and I drove it down on the golf cart, and so she could take it home with her. And I'll have to share. I'll put a picture inside the video because it worked out perfectly where she had it. And she's just like, "This is your legacy. This is just your legacy." And I'm like, "Look, if your kids don't want it, you just kick it back." Yeah. But my Thanksgivings feel like, get in the assembly line, and there's the paper plates, and the grandkids running, and I'm like, I felt like that picture deserved for the size of it. If I'd stitched it like you, or maybe even still big. So, but I finally got to this point that I've never felt really before, that it's like, I've stitched it, I've loved it, I've enjoyed it in my home on the wall for what, 3 years now?
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's really okay. Am I going to give her Lincoln? Heck no. But she was just, and it's beautiful. It just sets out because of that linen we use.
Oh,
What we
yeah.
use? Jobelin lamb's
think,
wool.
yes, yes.
And on her green.
Oh, it's.
So she's just thrilled. She's just thrilled.
Yeah.
And it felt really good. It felt really good because I still feel like I'm a kid. So many where you and I are like when you gave me the stitch one, I'm like, I ain't doing that. I mean, I want to stitch you something, but then you do it, and you're like, I don't want to give it away. I mean, I feel like this kid.
Yeah.
And so it felt really good to be like, yeah, I want her to have it. I want her to have that. I've had my time, and I think I think I'm growing up a little bit. Maybe it's coming on 60. I don't know. But
really?
It was weird. It was weird to make the decision, but it felt really good. And I feel like I can see her dining room table and the cornucopia and their.
Oh yeah, and it's perfect.
I feel like if they're, yes,
perfect.
Yes.
I think 2025 for me is going to be stitching a lot of stuff from my stash.
Yeah.
I call it my library.
Yeah.
Or my closet.
I think there's going to be a hashtag.
Yeah, there's going to be a hashtag.
There's going to be a hashtag.
Going through with Diane that night and pulling things and realizing there's so much stuff I loved. Now there was some stuff that I went, why did I ever buy that?
Like it's not us anymore.
It's not me.
Right.
But there was so much stuff I love, and I want to stitch it.
So why don't you talk a little bit about that hashtag?
Well, I am going to, and I'm not real sure what I'm going to do with it yet.
Oh, just have fun.
I am going to do a Stitchy Linda's Closet kind of hashtag and pulling things from my closet.
Like from the vault.
Yeah.
Just fun things because she's got, what? We've got centuries. I mean, it sounds...
40 plus years.
Right? Of stitching things. It's so cute.
Yeah.
When she pulls something out, I'm like, it's like you're going into your little closet.
Yeah.
And so I think when you do something like that, it'll be fun to associate. So maybe you have something, too, that you're going to pull from. Yeah. And, it's just, I think it's fun to see what people have.
It is fun. It is fun to pull stuff in. And what's funny, when I did that was something I'm getting ready to start a sal with, I had quite a few people go, oh, I have that. I bought that years ago, kind of thing. So it's been fun. And, I think I'm probably going to continue on with some of that stuff.
All right.
Yeah. I've got a couple of finishes that are not fully finishes. And then I thought maybe we'd talk about this stuff behind us, too.
Yeah. All right. This is the big whopper. Do you want to do this one first?
Yeah, do that one first. I actually have finished 3 things since last time we did this. We did. One of them was a model that I stitched, and I think it'll be out probably soon. And it was for the twins. So
Twin Peaks Primitives. You stitched their 2025 or
2024 Santa. So that should be out soon. And then in the interim, this was American Sampler by Primrose Cottage, and
which was this the biggest seller of the last?
I think.
Okay, I think so.
Market,
because this sucker was
Market.
I want to say Market, Nashville. I think this was the big.
That's right. I think that. Well, no, it's actually Aftermarket because I was out at Stitch West in April, and she showed this. And it had not been released.
Maybe it was their summer releases.
It was their summer releases. And when I saw it, I knew, okay, I got to get that when she releases it. And it was released maybe a month later. So I did stitch it. And
this was a sal.
Yeah, this was a sal. And I did this actually with Vanessa, who is Flame Fingers on Instagram. Yes. And it's pinned a little bit because...
It looks great, though. I can hold it up perfect.
Good.
Yeah.
Because when I realized I cut it from a piece of fabric, it's a piece of 32 count, I think it's called Chick, from Fortnite Fabrics.
Love it.
And it was a piece I had in my stash, and I apparently had cut on it because it was kind of curved.
Yeah.
So I pinned it a little bit. So
oh man, I can't help but I'm sorry, but I see this thing in a deep blue frame. Or something.
I'm thinking the same thing.
It's got to be blue.
I'm thinking
it's got to be.
If you look at this, that's what they initially did was like a navy-ish kind of frame.
Beautiful stitching.
I love it.
It's beautiful.
I think it's beautiful. And
is that a dyed floss on the blue house to the left there?
Yes.
It's like, okay, it's pretty.
Yes.
Pretty color.
There was actually a lot of stitching in that.
I was going to say, this seems,
so.
It's that fence and the details, I think.
Yeah.
But very, very cute. Now, I always think these things come with them. These are what I'm, if I do any new things next year that is a new purchase, they're going to be like these.
Yeah.
they're so cute to go with. So if you, but this is really cute.
Yeah, so I had finished that, and then I had talked to Debbie when I was out in Utah, Snug Harbor Crafts, and we were both wanting to start American Welcome by Plum Street. So we decided, we gave it a little while because we both had some things that we were working on, and so we pulled it out. I want to say maybe... Do you have the pattern? No,
Okay.
I didn't bring it.
Okay.
But I finished American Welcome, and I absolutely love it. I'm so happy that I used this fabric. I had 2 or 3 things pulled and I didn't like, and this fabric came in the shop one day, and Jane went, Linda, and I went, oh yeah, that's it. It's 32 count Golden Harvest. The colors, I will say that, I guess I don't know what I was being, but I decided I wasn't going to get the color in cotton, and I started with the alternative colors that Paulette had put on the new release. And I stitched one of the houses, and then I went to stitch something else in there, and I went, you know what? I need to get the color in cotton fibers, and I did, and I'm so happy.
Yeah, you really see the differences.
And this is really the first time. I've stitched some small things with color in cotton, but this is the first time I've stitched anything kind of large.
Yeah.
Their fibers are so good. They're thick. They cover better. They're just, I loved it. Debbie, I know, is still working on hers. I saw hers the other day. Actually, Pam had joined in with this. And also, right about the same time, Joy, and I'm not sure who was doing this with Joy. I know there were others. Joy, carolinastitcher. She started a sale. Now, their hashtag was American Welcome Sale 2024.
Yeah, there was like 2 of these sales going around.
In little pieces where they'd given themselves a year or whatever to finish. Once I start on it, I just had to finish it. And I know that Christy from Floss Boss and Cousins messaged me the other day and said something about how do you finish things so fast or something like that. And I said, I don't have a lot of whips. Once I start on something, I'm pretty much, I may have something small going on, but I tend to finish stuff. So,
I do think that's the difference. I really absolutely think 100%.
And I think that's why it looks like...
Because look at me starting at StitchCon on one and sticking with it. How much you accomplished.
You do.
That is how I could pull off a Lincoln piece. Because I pretty much, that's what I stitched on the whole time. Right. Now, it doesn't mean that your stash gets used, so that's why I think it's so fun to go back into the stash and remember what you've fallen in love with, because I'm getting too far away from what I purchased from 3 marketplaces ago, where I want to do the Biscornu with the Patriot, and I just, those are the things I want to make sure that in this lifetime get done. But
let's talk about your finishes. These are finishes.
I mean, basically, I did, in this amount of time, at StitchCon, I started Liberty's Welcome. And so from that point on, and then I had joined Christine from Hollis Hands, was doing her typical summer sale that she does, and we have the hashtag, we'll put it in there for you, but she stitches patriotic from Memorial Day to Labor Day consistently, and she puts a focus piece into it and then pulls it off, which falls in line with all of the Plum Street that I've loved and watched her do, and that I'm sitting there waiting to do. So I've been doing monogamous with the exception of the things for the releases coming out at Needlework Marketplace, which at this point I would say most of the pre-orders are coming to a halt by next week. Yeah. I think around the 22nd. You've turned in for Brook City most of them, a bunch of them.
Yeah, we'll probably finish ours by the 20th.
Yeah.
I think.
So basically what I pulled off for this, we had one, poor Matilda got lost in the mail. That little girl. Oh. Yeah, Trick or Treat Matilda is probably one of my favorite ones. Yeah. And luckily Terry from the Old Needle Shop did me a very sweet favor, because Amanda Anders, a friend that I met at All Things Fall Retreat almost going on a year ago now, has done some model stitching for me, and she stitched Trick or Treat. So anyways, I really, really like her in a different color dress. Uh-huh. I love the gold in the pockets, in the frog, in the cauldron.
I love the white
the what? Yes. Well, that's always for you. You know that. But I like the little brick walkway that she's on, and then she was finished as a flat fold. So, but she got lost in the mail. and she almost, the postcard picture for the cover, I did luckily because she had taken a good enough picture of it
that you could use
that I could use that.
Yeah.
And she traveled from Pennsylvania, where Amanda was, to Florida, made it to Orlando, went back up the East Coast to Maine. So Amanda's like, I think she wanted to go be up in Salem or something with the real witches. She made it back to Kentucky, and it halted.
Oh, really?
And then they said there was some problem. So lo and behold, Terry said, look, don't worry. So I finally had to order the covers and just go with what her picture was and release. And she says, I'll try and do a day turnaround for you and just get it done. So, okay. It all worked out. But it was crazy. And when I tell you, when the package came, what I expected was mangled.
Right.
Or I don't know what.
Yeah.
It was perfect. Perfect condition, not a wrinkle in it. It was the silliest thing. But of the 6 releases, what I have is the final. And you'll see a closer view on Instagram or later, but I have the final in my church blessing series. So this one, I wanted to do something special for the last one, so you'll see that the alphabet is switched to the lower portion, and there actually is the cross and the sheep, and there's a lot of little details that are hidden in there that you can read on the back of the pattern, and explains why I did it, and it includes Psalm 23. So anyways, that is the final. It is stitched on Strawberry Frappe from Grace Knows Fabrics, which is a really, really pretty blush, almost like a champagne pink.
Yeah.
It is not brutal, but I liked for spring that it was something different. And then this one is the next in my Home Is series, which I think we're going on about 8 of them now, but this is Home Is Where Your Garden Grows. So just the chickens and the cottage, and this actually goes off of which is funny, but I love a good old I like a garden that's just a mixture. It's the vegetables, it's the flowers, it's the flags, it's the quilt, it's the split rail fencing, it's all of that. That's kind of my country way of thinking how I would have a garden, one because I have a brown thumb, so I wouldn't grow. But Tina, when Tina from Team Egner takes me on a visual walk through her garden in the middle of her backyard that she's put together over just the last 3 years almost, she's added picnic tables to the outside and a little bunny statue, and some things are old and some things are new, and then there's flowers in between. And she might get 2 corn, but those are the cutest stinking little corn that you've ever seen. And it's just the joy of having a place to go to. And then she's always got her quilts. And so that's kind of where it comes from, because we don't have a garden here. But if I did, that's what it would look like. The next one I can reach is Autumn Days, which features Oscar the cat. And this is the very first time that I have used Chantel 141 design board. And this is a medium-size everything board that I have taken and stained first and then dry brushed kind of black over it, but that's Mr. Oscar.
And the real Oscar is sitting over across from us inside of a box.
That's where he stays. I tell him, go to your box. Go to your box. So that is, I like that one. He's got his cup of coffee. And then this one is Stitch in Time. Just a nice little patriotic bowl filler. George Washington, Betsy Ross, outside her house. And I really did this one to commemorate my trip up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year. I just had such a good time, but I didn't, again, I'm kind of working towards some smaller things even in my own home. So this was kind of done in a way for me. But I had a really good time working on her house. And anyway, so that is George and Betsy. And that's Stitch in Time. And then I would say the big one, that is my favorite. And Amanda Anders stitched the last of the church series too. So, and then this is the last, and this is Fall on the Farm. And this was stitched by Chris Young, who is out of our Ocala in the Brick City shop. And she stitched it beautifully, just absolutely beautifully. And so I just kind of had a really good time. I'm not going to say I didn't reach out to my mentor, Linda, saying, what do you think? What do you think? But I wanted it to be potentially, I definitely wanted the white pumpkins, and I wanted it to feel like a sampler, but not yet be one. And so it's kind of got all the elements of, you have one lady who's got a pumpkin pie that she's bringing on her horse and carriage, and then another one where she's got the wagon bringing the pumpkins, and you just got all your little friends. There's a squirrel on the chair.
I like the turkeys.
Mm-hmm. So I really, really have to say, want to get this one back up on my wall.
Yeah.
And I just had a really good time with that. So, nice fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. Okay, I think we got it all back in there.
Right.
So that's what kept me busy right after Stitch Florida, was just finalizing all of that.
Sure.
So do you want to do Stitch Florida here?
Yeah, you can
finish
show
up
those.
that?
Yeah, sure.
So this was just, I don't know what this,
Okay,
this was
yeah.
in your swag bag.
And so you can show, this
Okay.
is Stitch Florida.
All right. So both, I don't know everything that was in the swag bag at Stitch Florida. I didn't get one, but this was my design that I'm sure you've seen by now, which is for Stitch Florida, and the few finishes are coming around.
Yeah, see
I shared a couple, real cute. It was really nice because Needle Orts, one of our local LNSs, kitted up the floss for the two, the patterns that were in the swag bag, so that people could start them right away. So that was that, and it was really, really cute to see Chris Leedy, who model stitched it, and she stitched it like 4 times. She's just almost crazy.
And she did the cutest.
She's good crazy, but she just made the most beautiful quilted portfolios for the hosts with that. So not only did she stitch it, so she's just a giver. She's a giver, a giver. And then this is Annie's Life's, Annie the Proper Stitcher, Life's Lemons. I hope that's showing up good.
Yeah.
But I do know that she had, some have already started this, but she's had a recent, there's a nice big sale going around for her strawberry
One of her
one.
strawberry ones.
Strawberry one.
Right.
I think it's a friendship, like a friendship sale, and it's really cute and really taken off. And this was kind of the next, when her and I were talking, the one with strawberries, and then she kind of utilized this to pull in the summer feel.
Right.
So anyway.
Yeah, one of the themes at Stitch Florida too was like oranges and that type of thing too, so it fit in really well. Citrus, yeah.
Now, is this what you bought?
That's just haul, and I think, some of these are haul. Now, I will say there are 2 bags down here.
Your Como?
Yep.
Okay.
That I grabbed.
My legs are getting warm.
Yeah,
So sorry.
they are. That I knew Como Stitches, she was not going to be there, but I knew she was going to have a place there, and I love her bags.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not always fortunate to get one on Friday nights when she does her thing. And I didn't run in on Thursday. I mean, everybody normally runs in, and I thought, okay, I'm just going to wait.
vendor room
is left,
The vendor room was supposed to, the envision was supposed to be bigger. So that being said, when Linda said there was standing room, you could not have bolted in there. It was, it ended up being a little bit smaller room than what they anticipated for it had to accommodate.
Yeah, so when I walked in later that day or whenever it was, I immediately looked to my left and went, oh, Como Stitches bags, and there were still some left, and I got some of the cutest.
That is really
bags.
pretty color.
The minish kind of green or light green kind of color for the back. I mean, it's just gorgeous.
So cute.
And that's one of the smaller ones. And then I also got, and I love this one. I mean, it's not really patriotic, but it's more summery.
You know what? It would have been so good with that primrose.
I know,
right?
It's perfect.
It's so perfect for that primrose.
But it'll be for something.
She has like 3 different style bags,
sizes.
which is kind of nice.
That's a little bit bigger, and
this one's looks like a little. And then she had a bigger size, I think, even too, didn't she? In a vinyl front. So that's the one nice thing about Como Stitches.
And then I'll get this one off of your thing.
This one is funny because,
oh my gosh, that's so cute. I get stuff, that I get. I've got like a little plastic bin that I put it in for FlossTube.
Mm-hmm.
So I throw stuff in and throw stuff in. Well, I went to clean it out yesterday. I went, I don't remember ordering this. But
oh my gosh, that's so cute.
Is the cutest.
Is this the one I saw and sent you the link, and you're like, oh, thank you. That's what this was.
That's what that is.
I'm like, check that out with the red rack.
Leaf Co. It's new to me.
Stinking adorable.
But I love it. It's got the lighthouses.
I mean, it's got everything.
And it's got,
It's funny because
you're
you're a distinct nautical person.
Mm-hmm.
She's not like Shamu. I mean, there's a distinctness to it. And that had the beach and the light.
I'm not a real bright
nautical
coastal thing. I kind of like more of the muted kind of colors. So
that's why I think sometimes the patriotic nautical suits your, it tones them down. All right.
I guess the rest of this is whips. So you want to show your,
what is this?
That's haul.
That's haul?
Yeah, that's haul.
All right.
Here, I'll take that because this is
all right,
haul.
That's haul.
Yep. We're kind of shuffling back and forth.
There's a lot here in a small
These are whips.
Okay. These are all down whips. To whips. What about that?
And that's haul.
Okay.
You haven't seen this one.
No. I didn't get any yet.
I will say this I did get at Stitch.
Well, that's what I was going to say. If we're doing, I've got that too.
Okay, well, we'll hold on.
We'll do a little.
Why don't you show your whip? I'll take this.
My one whip.
Well, yeah, but
could you just? Okay. Oh my gosh.
You wouldn't believe what she's. I'm not going to say what she's sitting on.
Yeah.
We were trying to rearrange here, and the first chair she brought in, she looked like she was about 8 foot tall.
There's like not much left in this house. Okay. So I have to admit, I think that I have found, to me, what I really enjoy. Yes, I have to do work stuff, so my treat to myself after working this hard on something, and what I did was I told myself is possibly it would be for a new home. Mm-hmm. It's very motivating to think something new might go on your wall, but this is the Liberty's Welcome, which I don't know if I need to show the picture again, but I can. And I'm using all DMC right there. Yeah. So this is your Liberty's Welcome by Plum Street. If I get it in there right. And all DMC except for the roof, I'm doing gunmetal, and I officially am out, so you're not going to see it finished. I know, that's why I said, did I include that when I sent you?
I don't think you did, but
so,
you'll have to look at this
this is, you're going to have to tell me if it's in the screen or not here.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so this is where I've got to.
Yep. She's got the house,
I mean. Yeah, and I finished the top border last night.
all of this, so that's a big portion of it.
The grass being done is amazing.
Yeah.
I almost was, like, the roof would have been done for this if I'd have had it. I bought 2 skeins of the gunmetal. Now I'm stitching it on 28 count mushroom Lugana even weave. So I'm going through it. But with all of it being DMC, that's just fine.
Oh, yeah.
And so I finished, the top and bottom borders are complete. The grass is complete.
That eagle is amazing.
He is probably, this is like,
that's good.
My favorite. So, I mean, the house won't take me too long once I get the gunmetal. So I just keep working on other little small motifs. And when I was sick, I went 5 days without stitching.
Yeah,
it was like,
just had no energy to do anything.
No, and it was so sad because you're sitting there and you want to, and it's looking at you, and you're like, but I just can't. So my goal is to still possibly have this finished, and I kind of think I can pull it off.
You'll have that done.
I think I can pull it, knowing the grass is done.
Yeah.
Knowing
and the biggest part of the house.
Right. So my biggest tedious things are going to be, which I thought I might be able to pull off stitching on during Needlework Marketplace sometimes. On down kinds, I'll try and do little things. But my biggest work is going to be the left border still has some stars and fluff, how she does that, as you know. And then I have the whole right side border. But because I was off by a stitch on one thing that shouldn't account for anything, the grass is correct, the house is correct, it was coming around the border. Yeah. And I've been fine. I made sure what I did was did my bottom border, so I knew that my bottom and everything was correct that way. And then when I came up, I made sure to do my top border the same. Whatever happens when it comes down, it could be one close, it could be drop off a stitch. It's not going to make any difference. I don't know where it is. I have yet to find it.
And it's not like you've got a solid border where it's going to make
And so far, everything has counted out accurate from the roof to the stars to the eagle. I've just paid real good attention to make sure. But so that's why I did it that way. So, but those borders are some work. So I'm glad to have the top 2 complete. And other than that, there's some pretty big hunker flowers on some of that. But I think So I feel like September 4th we're good, because what day is it today? 18th or something? I mean, we're not.
Yeah, it's the 18th.
Yeah. So I'm good. And then I'm going to be, I wasn't going to do that one, but remind me to say what color fabric that one is when we do it. Cause, so that's all I've really stitched on besides finishing up, some of that. Some of that stuff and getting things organized.
It's funny, when I finished American Welcome, I mean, I just love it. And I said this on Instagram. I loved it, but I almost hated stopping. I guess
I will miss stitching on this.
Yeah,
and I think the only thing,
And so I really didn't want to start anything because I do have a sale coming up on Labor Day that we're going to start. We'll talk about that. So I pulled out. I've only got a couple of whips, and I did pull out, let's see, Christmas Village.
Prairie Schooler or Christmas Village, which I knew that'll be where I go back to.
Right.
That'll be what I do.
Because he's stitching this too. And I think we were pretty much on the same.
I don't have my trees.
You don't have the
but
trees,
I have
but
other
you had
things.
other houses and stuff done that I didn't.
Right.
I
just started the church too. You're behind or further than me now.
I looked at our last video and I had that middle house I had just started. So I took this to Stitch Florida. I started the church, and over the last couple of days I've stitched mainly on the church. But actually it doesn't go too far past
No, it doesn't go past the church very much.
So I'm feeling pretty good about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to have this done and praying for Christmas, but we'll see. Ginger's is gorgeous.
Yes.
It's on her wall.
Yeah.
This was Ginger's birthday sale. It actually started where we were doing Prairie Schooler Saturdays, which we still
are. You did Saturday.
But then we decided that this would be perfect, that Ginger had also wanted to start this, so this was her birthday sale.
Yeah.
And hers is gorgeous, hanging on the wall.
Yeah. And mine is, so you're on 32?
32 count, and it's called pewter. Or no, I'm sorry, 32 count silver mist.
And I think I'm 28 count vintage country mocha.
Yep.
And I keep looking at it the same way. This is going to feel good to go to this back when I'm done with the patriotic, and it'll be 2 new pieces for the house. But can you see how all of a sudden you get to a point and you have these big pieces where it's like, you know what? This person loves that.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah. Oops.
It's like you've given things to your daughter.
That's right.
And eventually it's just like, I hope she knows what works in that. And of course, me, I'm like, you did what?
I thought I brought, maybe I did. Yes, I did. Okay. And I actually,
I'll have this.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I actually then, I picked this up after StitchCon, and I hadn't really showed it. And this is my oldest whip. At June of 21, I look back to look. And it's Carolyn Manning Sea Glass. And boy, my fabric is getting kind of ratted, and I marked it so that you knew where it went to. But this is 25 count pewter 1/1. So it is small. So where you see the pin on that one side, that's where it goes to. So I'm actually saying I'm about 2/3 done.
You're doing really good.
So, I love the colors on this, and the colors on this are nothing like the cover. The blues and the greens, and I decided to do it on gray, and I'm not sure why, because really it won't show because it's solid, but
I feel like I would almost be framing that button right up to it. But it's still a nice fabric that you like.
It is.
So,
yeah. So
what do we got in this little one?
Well, this is going to be plans.
Okay. All right.
And then, do you have any other haul?
I do have some haul.
Okay.
I have some. Okay, so at Stitch Florida, to me, some of the highlights for me was meeting. I had not yet Missy. I've met Niecy and stuff like that, but I had never met Holly.
No.
And that was just a true treat for me, and Tammy. And I mean, these ladies are just hands down as good as they get, because Tammy is a bubble of energy that makes you feel like you are the best person in the world. And she made these beautiful red boxes, which I've shared the picture on Instagram, and I've since packed. It was so hard to put it away. But, I mean, it was just a pure treasure, because I didn't have a stitching traveling case yet either. And I'm a little bit afraid of doing that. But anyways, just a Sweet Susan Sweet Wing Studio, just to be able to get to spend more than 5 minutes with somebody and not on a screen was just so so great. So there were some really, really sweet gifts from everybody at that table, and we were all included. But to meet, Holly and have the, where you have that connection and her grandson Graham and medically, situations, and just, there's a connection that you take with you with certain people, and her and I will always have that. And just to finally be able to wave across the room, to Missy and just have that.
I was thrilled to meet Missy because
so
she
great.
and I chatted back and forth with her. It just
these are just good ladies. And let me tell you something. They really, Tammy really took care of me when it came to lunchtime and making sure. And when you're in the middle of that as a vendor, yes, I can do it. I almost died. I just want everybody to know I almost died at Stitch Florida too. I choked on something. Don't remember the whole ordeal, but I about died.
Yeah.
Felt like it. But, they're just gems, because it was so nice to have somebody walk up and go, okay, what do you want for lunch? We're just, and they took it, and it was just like, oh, I didn't even have to think. And they're just caring. Just really, and I love their family story, and I love meeting, wait a minute now, it was sister, but there was also a cousin that was there as well, correct? Mm-hmm. They had a cousin there. And so it was just it was like a family.
Yeah. And then Brandy, I had met Brandy before,
mm-hmm.
Brandy and Emma, her daughter.
Mm-hmm, yes.
Brandy had come up to Brick City before, and I had met her with Denise. And so it was nice to meet her daughter. It was just so many. And it was good to see so many old friends. And
now it's funny, I sat next to Ariel, which that is not her name.
That's what they call her.
Yes, that's what they call her, is Ariel. And now I want to do a Matilda Ariel. It's just a great group. I sat next to Jen, and Jen, I always want to say it the wrong way, Jen Nashka.
Yes, I think that's
Jenn. And I've never been able to just more than 3 seconds at StitchCon, and a hug and a hi, and busy. But it was so nice to just. We're doodle lovers, so that was fun. She's got a little tiny one, I got a big one, but just you can't beat that stuff. I'm telling you,
and it was
just
good
can't
to see
beat
old friends. Christy Jenks from up in the Panhandle.
We've got our typical group too.
Typical Jacksonville ladies, Edith and they were helping. Edith and Jean and Melissa. And everybody they were the helpers for them, and they were doing great.
So in this, as I got to talk to Jen, and then one of the big gifts was this Tammy put these boxes together, and then we got small boxes, and it was just very, very special what was inside of them. But then I was talking about how I was walking through Home Goods, and it was a big Home Goods in Marshalls up in the Villages, and Philip and I were there, and we went, and they had this fabric-covered box, and like a travel jewelry case box. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's so different. I don't know if you can see it, but it has beads on it, and it's got a zipper. And I thought, I have blue in where my stitchy chair is, and I'm like, geez, that'd be perfect. So I've been working on revamping it, and we started when I was down there at Stitch Florida. The Scissorists were a vendor there. And they are the representative for Saju in North America. So when I was there, I brought this to show the girls. Terry from the Old Needle Shop, I pulled out, there was a bag that was in it, like a sack that you would drawstring your jewelry or whatever. So that easily ripped out. I have yet to figure out what I'm doing up in here so far. But if I pull these things out here, I had this fabric that coordinated, and this was Henry Glass, which I love Henry Glass fabric. So everybody kind of started going gaga because your cover has kind of already got some really nice detail. And I went to Paris, I've said that before, so it was kind of fun to then find these little trinkets at the Saju table, which can now kind of go in here. And then JBW this was our table treat this year. Yeah, so Judy had gifted Eiffel Tower scissors, and they're perfect. And then I had this from something else, the needle case. So it's kind of all fitting in one of my mom's thimble. It's coming together. I was able to get a needle minder while I've been working on Liberty's Welcome, to actually stick to the button.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm just undetermined.
Yeah, what you're
These
gonna
do not come out the way I thought. Like, I have pulled and pulled and pulled, and I'm too far along to feel like, so I might just, not rickrack, but some sort of decorative trim.
Sure.
The difference with the round box, I will tell you guys, is the scissors become an issue unless they're very small, because they go in at an angle where that when you have square,
Yeah.
you've got that room to go up and down. So far I'm only able to go at an angle or utilize the really small.
Right.
So it was such a hoot, because all of a sudden the whole hoopla at the Stitch Florida was that blue box, and where was it? And then Jessica, started looking for it, and then she went with who she was sitting right next to, which is Summer House of D-Stash.
I know she was sitting next.
Kiki. Why do I want to call her that?
I don't know. Well, I know she was sitting with Carrie or Carrie and Chantel and.
Yes. And why can't we think of? I'm so sorry.
Are you talking about Simply Stitch and
House of Stashes?
Oh, House of
Stash. Rika.
Oh,
I said Kiki.
Oh,
Rika. Rika's just a beauty.
Oh.
I mean, you can't miss her. I mean, she's the beauty in the room, and she's just so, and she works on the most beautiful, phenomenal pieces. And so they were trying to hunt that box down, and they've got the skew and stuff from underneath, but that's something I've been.
And Rika was also trying to hunt down
she was
the top to the Longaberger.
Oh, yes.
Which I had, but she wanted, and I thought I was going to end up doing something with it. She wanted the basket and the top.
Right.
And
So I also have the small, because this was a little treat at the table. So, I mean, there was nothing but flamingos and everything flying around. Pink was the name of the game.
Yep.
And then I was going to share this.
Yeah.
So, because of the blue box, and it kind of all goes a little bit together, but I was down to the very last piece of my mom's unfinished stitching. And she had started probably back in the 80s or 90s, and I remember being in high school doing a sampler, and it was all in mauves and blues and reds. The vintage
colors.
mauves, right. The pattern she had, but it was pretty well toast. I couldn't read it, and it's been hanging and hanging. Well, cleaning the house, it's like, it's time to make a decision. I thought a drum would work. She had stitched the entire alphabet, but the rows underneath it, like the band sampler, weren't enough to finish the full drum.
Right.
You'd have really been tight. So I finally thought to myself, I love when I'm watching all these people just do what they want. And if they want to stitch the pumpkin out of that entire sampler and make it into a pillow, that's what they're doing, and they're just having fun. And I thought, why can't I just turn this into, and see if we can pull 2 strawberries, see if Terry from the old needle shop could pull 2 strawberries out of the sampler, one for me and one for my sister. And so this is, I don't know that you'll be able to see it, but this is what she was able to create. And she just did a phenomenal job.
That's so pretty.
I mean, how pretty is that? I don't feel one iota bad that I took something like that and had her cut in. And it's just, so for my sister, when she...
So was it a long?
Yeah, and it's mushroom. I mean, it's our 28 count mushroom, but it was about like that big.
Okay.
And then she had done the filigree on the top, for like, like it used to go up like that, like the shepherd.
Yeah.
But the bottom, I had more to go, and it was so. I want different things in my house.
Yeah.
I don't want to hang. So originally I was thinking drum, and it might have almost worked, but I just thought this was so nicer. So out of one piece came 2.
That's a great
and
idea.
my sister has a real sweet guest bedroom upstairs that is just 2 twin beds, and it has Graham's quilts, and it, wherever she puts it. But it's just another special thing, and Terry loved doing it. I mean, she was just like, I love how this turned out.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm like, can you do like you do when she takes embroidered handkerchiefs that she'll find that are antique, and she'll turn her into the berries. I'm like, could you do that? And she got us the biggest berries, and I'm just thrilled.
Yeah.
So the last I have of my mom's is the Mayflower, Women of the Mayflower.
Oh.
She had done, And I wish she'd have done the dang top or something because she did all the names.
Oh, she did all the.
We both did the names. I'm like, God dang, I can't do anything with that.
Couldn't even piece it together. Yeah.
So that's just something to think of.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of people just you don't have to. It doesn't have to be on the wall, and it didn't hurt it by any to just. I mean, how pretty.
Yeah.
How pretty. Yeah. So I just really like that idea. So, anyways, that was fun. All right, now where are we at?
Is that all your call?
Oh no.
Okay.
Okay. So the other thing was I got some treats, and one of the vendors there, besides Como, there was 3 bags. Was there 3 bags there? Yes. Tiger Lily.
Yes.
Tiger Lily was there.
Yes.
Como, and then Farmhouse Needleworks. She does bags, and she does these really cute. I never remember what they're called, like a floss folder bag. But I had to stare over at her table of goodies while I was there.
Yeah, she was right across from you.
Right. So
she had a lot of Halloween.
She had some really cute fall.
Yeah.
So I picked up me and Jen, Sweet Chaos Stitcher. I picked her and I up one of these. And then there was also, because the room size was smaller, Needle Orts, the local shop, brought in and they changed up their game every day for us, which was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
That was a great
idea. I mean, what an idea. So
but
one day they brought silks.
But,
yeah. I mean, they had Belle Soies. They just rotated, and boy, what a gem. And I was able to do that, too, and I think really helped from being from home because I had only one table, which is fine. Everybody did, basically. But, you know, your eyes get sick of seeing the same thing.
Sure.
So I could bring new things in, and boy, did that help. But one of the things they brought in one day was a little display from the Bee Company. You got your thing. And then I picked up any of the Halloween I could find thinking for future finishes. So it's a haunted house, and there's a little broom down there. And I've seen them at Nashville before. Mm-hmm. I have a little bear thing. And then all the brooms.
And how cute would it be to take one of those little brooms and use it?
Yeah.
On a stitch thing.
Absolutely. And then the hats, which all different hats. So those were the ones I got.
And mine was...
I
didn't see these. Diane ran in and saw them and said, "Oh," and I said, "Yeah."
Yeah, how cute! Yeah. And those would be really cute with your little ones that you do. Every now and then, you just throw a wooden fish in. I think I'd like the wooden fish versus the snap.
Yeah,
like you're saying, I'm not a shinier person, but this, if you threw one of those into yours,
that'd be cute.
I almost put that in my pocket.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a drink here.
Oh dear. Yeah, that was. I got it. Yeah. So they had they had snowmen, and I mean Chris Leedy came in, and it was like I remember the husband from Needle Alerts said, "Do we own those?" And she's like, "Unfortunately, yes." They were gone. I mean, there was no problem. Yeah. No problem. I'm like, well, I think you made your husband very happy because they were depleted very quickly.
One day she had a Plum Street trunk show.
Yep. It was really good. Yeah. It was really, did a good job.
This is just stuff that I picked up from Brick City, something I ordered that we had posted, and really for the tomato.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. You don't have to stitch it all.
And I'm not normally, but I thought it was really cute, especially the red that I got from, that I told you was my new favorite now.
Right.
Which is a color in cotton, and I don't remember the name of it. Starts with a W. But anyway, one of their reds, which was adorable. And I think it would be great for that pumpkin. So
see, and this is what I'm talking about. We don't have to stitch the whole thing. No. And I think you and I grew up rule followers.
Oh, yeah.
What you did it, you followed the pattern. How fun. I told Jen, I want a jar full of tomatoes that are stitched up in different finishes. And I always worry that, like, okay, if you don't see... I always worry, you don't see everything.
You don't see everything. No.
I'm not worrying about that anymore.
And you and Jen must have rubbed off on me because then I picked this up and I don't.
Oh, come on. You know you love her. Come on. Even Missy would love this one.
I think I would. Yeah, no, I don't think that.
Okay, hold on. It's too glary.
Yeah. Oh, take it out. Yeah. I'll take this one out while you're taking that one out.
Although Missy loves animals. She just...
Yeah, we got into that.
We got into that.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Tra-la-la,
and I don't know what it means.
Couture. Mm-hmm. Surrey Couture. Mm-hmm.
But she's really cute.
Very, very cute. Yeah, I like that.
Yep.
So seriously, that's so funny because wait till you see the Matilda Christmas ornament. You know how you do one every year for Christmas? Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
That's funny.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I never saw this, so.
And then I think Diane picked this up for me. It was on one of the tables, freebie tables, because she knows that I gravitated to that Santa that you had, and this is another Santa, and it's just an oldie Heartland, Stitches from the Heartland Santa.
Cute.
But he's cute. And then I got my fabric of the quarter.
Is it like a solid? No.
Yeah.
Okay, no, it's just stitching on blue.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha.
I got my fabric of the quarter from Barefoot Needle Arts, and it's a really pretty tannish color. It is called
Beautiful.
Sand Dollar.
That's beautiful.
Isn't that pretty?
Yes. See, now I think that's very primitive-ish.
Yeah.
Like very neutral, not too much.
Mm-hmm. There's a little bit of modeling, but not a lot of modeling. But it's really
that's nice.
Really pretty.
And not super yellow,
No.
not super butterscotch,
No.
but it's got that hint of antique in there.
I love their fabric of the quarter.
Very
because
nice.
it got to be too much with fabric of the month.
Right.
So this was kind of a good alternative.
I love that.
And I get 32 count Madonna.
Love that.
And then this is something that just came in.
Yeah, so she put out four, right?
Mm-hmm. And it feels like fall with a needle and thread. And I think on this one, I'm going to do the side with the house.
Okay.
And somehow, and I haven't figured out yet how, just that side, and I'll cut off some, I don't know yet.
So
but
you're not thinking of doing the whole Quakerish thing.
You know me, I'm not really a Quaker person.
But
I
you
love
do
the
love
house,
fall most of all.
and I love this, and I would love to somehow go straight up, but I just haven't figured out
See,
how to do
I
that
see
yet.
it different. I don't think I would do the words. I would do the house.
Just the house?
I would do
And the
the
pumpkin.
house, the left, the this, and the top.
Yeah, maybe
And make it a small.
Oh, maybe so.
I don't think I
That's
would
a good
worry about
idea.
any of that
Nope.
then. If you ever wanted to make a coordinating piece, you could do just
That
that.
separately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think I'd stop and just do the house.
Yeah.
And just, that'd be so cute. Because these come out far enough that it's not going to look like, oh, I left something off.
No.
So,
Yeah, so that's...
You didn't buy a witchy one, huh?
No, I didn't. Okay. So that takes care of haul.
We've got, let's do, while we're doing Fabric of the Month Club.
Oh, yeah, do that one.
So, Grace Notes fabric, I absolutely, it's another one. I love stitching on their fabric. I've only recently started stitching on Barefoot Needle Arts fabric, and love the feel of it. Grace Notes, I've done plenty for Nashville and things like that. So they were putting out for FlossTubers, I believe, if I get it correctly, they have their Fabric of the Month too, but so it's going to alternate between a neutral and a dark for me. So the first one that came is really kind of cute because I heard it from the grapevine. So just like I told her, I said, yeah, and great for Halloween.
I was going to
really
say,
great for Halloween. So I can see another Clara cat on that or something fun.
Black cat or a witch.
Exactly. So really cool.
Speaking of cats.
So that is the first one. I was kind of behind the game in that one, but that's the first one I got for their Fabric of the Month Club, and this is a 28 count linen that I got. Okay. So anyways, I'm anxious to try to figure out what I'm going to put on that. It's going to go in there.
It goes in the closet?
It goes in the cabinet. There's an
maybe my bag was in the way. You can't.
Yeah, there's an oak nightstand in
oh
there.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's funny, kitties. I have to bring up a kitty story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was fun, too, for you.
We, in the middle of everything else,
yeah.
One of our new kitties, which we've had about a year, Oscar and Oliver. Oscar, my husband calls White Paws, and Oliver, he calls, well, I'm not going to go into that. No. He's a bigger boy.
Yes, he is.
And so anyway, one of them was having an issue, and we thought, well, it's time for them to go to the vet. We'd never had them in carriers, because when we brought them home from the where we got them from, and we rescued them, they were in a big, we had a big, like, dog crate, but we had put them in the back of my car.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, that was fun. We sent 2 cats around the house. Of course, Gerald's got double vision, so
Yeah, you're missing out.
We finally get him in the crate, and we decide to go out to the vet where they had used for and walk in, and it was great, but it's like a 40-minute drive, and of course it was meow all
Oh,
the
it can be
way.
loud too, yeah.
And so we get there, get them in. They never said a peep when we got in. Take them back in. The girl, and I'm telling them, we had a heck of a time getting them in. Girl reaches in, gets them, does whatever.
Right.
And I'm telling her the next one, he's kind of wild. We call him Wild Child.
Yeah.
And he scratches, and he has, Gerald's got marks all over.
Oh, yeah.
And so we needed their nails clipped too, so they did all that. But I couldn't believe it. She just picks him up, and he just sits there, and goes, and we're both looking at each other.
It's like when your kids behave better for other people than,
gosh. So that was like a half a day trip. But anyway, I had to say that when I saw her.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway.
Well, and there's something about orange cats. I
Yeah,
don't know why,
cats.
but there's our Oscar has to have he had kidney stones. So that's why the specialty food. So we have the specialty
and
food,
that's what we went through with Oscar.
It's pricey, but I order the biggest bag. It lasts me about 6 months.
Well,
so that's not bad.
I went to Amazon and did the same thing, so anyway.
Okay. Now where are we at? Do you want me to show this last one of haul?
Oh,
and then we'll go. Okay.
Yeah.
So it was something that I think I missed last time. I don't think I talked about it, but if you ever just want something, if you love quilting and fabric too, to incorporate it, check out Susan Standley, Standley, and she's on Instagram. But she is just a huge historian when it goes to the Civil War fabrics. It's something that I'm always have loved. My mom did many quilts in the Civil War fabrics, but she does this really cute. I don't know if there's a cyclical, like if she does it every month or every other month, but I had just caught where she puts out these sets, and this is set number 3, and it was entitled The General Store from 1830 to 1890. She picks a time frame, and then she has this little textile envelope that you get where she has researched it, and then you get a selection of fabrics in this beautiful envelope, and that go to that era of time. And I got to be honest, when I got it, I really got it to put on display in my general store case for some. Like there's certain things you just need. Yeah. So you get it in this really cool envelope, and I have yet to even open it. But Stitch in Time is what it is. That's her FlossTube is Stitch in Time. And so she has done some doll boxes where she's given you enough things where you make this doll with the fabrics. And then there's all of these beautiful pieces of fabric, and in it, the information on the collection and the research that she does. And I don't know that if I ever do anything with it, it's just beautifully done.
Yeah.
It's beautifully done.
Interpreter's collection.
Yeah, it's each has been carefully selected to represent the colors, the patterns, the designs for their specific time periods. So, when you, like I said, if this is your thing, it comes with some cute little things that go with it. But she does a very beautiful job presenting it. And for me, maybe I don't need every set, but to just be able to, if you are a sampler stitcher per se, it really goes in the realm. And I have to say that for even the price of what I paid, this was incredibly reasonable. I really want to say it was in the 20s.
Oh, wow.
It was mid-20s. And think about what you kit up for something. So I think she does a very, very beautiful job. And now she has something new coming out that she just recently shared on Instagram, so check her out. Because I just love the fact that she has so much knowledge and she's sharing it with us. So that was the last, I think, of the haul, pretty much. Yeah. With the exception of this wild new plan thing. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you talk about your sale.
Oh, you want me to go first?
Sure. Why not? I got mine here when we're ready.
Looking up something.
Okay. Oh, no, okay. Whatever you need.
No, I got it. Okay, I'm going to unzip here. Sorry about that. I guess I'll show this, because what I did is I printed this off, because it's kind of hard to see the little charts.
So this is another
This is going to be a new sale. This starts Labor Day. And I got it, like I say, when I started pulling stuff out, I got in the fall mood, and then I thought, I have autumn snapper land.
Yeah.
So I kind of messaged Joy and I said, I'm assuming it's okay and to use Building Block Sal because it's still actually Building Block Sal. So we're going to use that Sal. And Jennifer that I met at Stitch West, she is Black Saddle Ranch. I think that's right. And she jumped on board and she said, oh, I have that too.
I really like it.
She said she had started stitching years ago and had stopped, like so many, and had kept, and she went back and pulled it, so she's going to be joining me. And I don't know, Joy said, oh, I have that. I
kind of want to join it too, but I don't have it, but like I kind of want to, I kind of could see doing them into small pillows.
Yes.
And throwing them in like for a fall bowl.
And what I did is I pulled it. Only
very cute with the turkey at the last one.
It only takes 6. Look at those colors.
Oh, wow. Just that? Okay, hold on here.
Oh,
gorgeous.
I went to Brixie because I thought I had a color that I wanted to use, but this I ended up pulling, and it's a picture this plus.
It almost looks like vintage country mocha, but a little deeper. Oh, doubloon.
It's doubloon.
Look at those
and
colors.
And those fall colors, and it's only 6 colors for this whole thing.
Oh my gosh, that's perfect.
Isn't that pretty?
Okay.
And it's,
I love it.
Like I say, the border on it. I love this border. I mean, the leaves.
Now you may be able to find these on eBay. You got to know.
Actually, I think you can still get them at Silver Needle.
Okay, so this is what they look like, just in case you're.
There's 4 of them.
Right.
And they come.
That's what the cover kind of looks like.
And they come with the snaps.
Right.
Which I won't use the snaps, but they do come with buttons. But the border on this is just phenomenal with those leaves.
Yeah.
And the colors.
How do you know the border?
Well, I have the border at home.
Oh, okay.
There was a free border, and this is what I'm not sure of yet. I need to go back because I had a problem with the Summer Snapperland border.
Okay. This is the one I like.
Actually had that border in my stash, and I have the autumn border in my stash. Okay. It used to be on their website as a freebie. I don't know if it still is or not.
Okay. So, all right. So new fall sale. If you're looking for something small.
Yep.
Snapperville, Bent Creek.
Yep.
You can even look on eBay or whatever.
Yep. You can look on eBay. You can look on Silver Needle. I think I saw some of them on 123. Mm-hmm. But again, I think the issue might be the border. So I'm not real sure about that. If it was free, I'm not sure. Can we copy that if it's free?
If it's free, yeah. I mean, that's not a problem.
So that may be something I'll look into. Okay. And if it is free, then like I say, I have it. We'll see what we can do.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
That's my plans to start Labor Day, and my other plans would be to continue working on Prairie Sport.
Okay. So here will be my plans. I'll show you my sale that I jumped on, which I had no business jumping on, but it was just too good not to jump on it. But Liberty Welcome finished by September 4th. That's my goal. Then I do need to work on a model for next year. In Nashville, it sounds so funny, but before you know it, Nashville will be here. It's only August, but we're approaching September, and so I need to just make sure I've got my ducks in a row, basically, and I've sent off to a model stitcher a few things that we've had in the background for a while that just didn't get done for this one. Things just happen sometimes. So, because I think I would have pulled off 7 finishes, but 6 is good. Oh, yeah, 6 is good. Anyways, and then I want to, with the move, when I condensed, I went through everything, and I left myself a basket of fun smalls that were new, but also things to finish up that were more, that I knew if I took everything else away from me with no options. So one of those is the Twin Peaks Primitives Halloween sampler, Haunted House sampler sale from a few years ago. Yeah. I will force myself into a finish of that. And so that's in there with a few other things as well as Peter finished his modern folk embroidery.
And he told me the other day it's at the frame.
Oh, geez.
So he's anxious to show.
And that's another 28 count mushroom or Lugana for me, which I think it's just ivory.
Yeah.
But it's a Lugana, and it's just so wonderful. It just takes a little more attention. So anyways, that's kind of what I'm going to allow myself to do in the meantime. And the sale going on here came out, and I've watched Linda stitch 2 of her monster ones by Crochet to Go-Go, and this is the new Halloween sampler that she put out. And she has a couple of Halloween that were real big, and it was hard to decide. But the thing for me that did it was the bottom characters and then the house up there. I feel like this is just fits my decor a little more. It's all those great fall colors and not too much purple craziness, you know.
No.
So I saw it, and then Jen, Sweet Cast Stitcher, saw it, of course, and then we, Team Egner, Tina. So the three of us were first like, we have no business doing it, but that's what life is about, so we're going to do it. So the three of us got on that. Well, in the meantime, it definitely hit Instagram, and it became pretty with the owls and all the stuff. So a friend of mine, Sharon Yeager from Daisy Cottage Quilting, is, and a friend to many, I'm sure, she is also doing a sale and fell in love with it. So there is a hashtag that goes with it, Halloween Sampler 2024 sale.
Yes, I think
Halloween
that's right.
Sampler.
Halloween Sampler Sale 2024.
Okay, Halloween Sampler Sale 2024. The pattern is by Crochet Go Go, and everybody, each one of us are stitching on something different. I still find that if I stitch on my 32 or 28, I enjoy it and it gets finished. Anything higher than that, or even a linen right now, because of the other pieces, I just don't get to. It's a beautiful color pattern. And I am going to, I tried a fabric, I ordered it, and I didn't like it at all. So, because I really thought I was going to enjoy stitching on Ada, just a nice piece of vellum or something, and I just didn't have any, and I had packed up all my linens, which seems crazy now to me. But Linda, luckily, in her stitchy closet, had a piece of, is this 28 or 32? 28. 28 count, we don't know what, dark. No, wait a minute, we do know what.
Yeah, it's dirty.
Dirty.
No, is it sage?
Sage, which is a favorite of ours.
Yes.
So I will be stitching on
it's a biggie.
Yeah.
And the one thing we want to do, though, before I leave here, is we want to make sure, because we talked over the phone, and she gave me the measurements, and I looked at it, and I said, you're not going to have 3 inches, you're going to have 2 inches, but let's double check it today.
Yeah, and because I stitch in hand and start at the bottom left-hand corner, I don't need much.
I know, but I want to make sure.
Yeah, as long as I've got the surged. If it wasn't surged, it'd be different.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stitch on the darker colors, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, do you have the colors there?
I do. Oops, hold on a second. We're going to put this in here. Yeah. So I get to use my, it's not Halloween. I could ultimately see myself changing, but I never get to use this guy.
Oh, yeah.
Because Linda does more fall stitching, so this was a Cricklewood crossing bag. So it was big enough because I knew this was going to take a while. And then these are the...
Oh, those colors will look good on that now.
I think I'm going to be okay with the darker.
Yeah.
I think I'm the darkest because the other girls, Tina and them, I think they're a little lighter.
Good.
I think we're going to be good. Yeah. So...
And yours is going to... And it's funny because I thought on the way down here, I should have brought... I haven't shown Winter Sampler framed yet.
Okay.
So the next time you come up, and you'll be working on that, because mine's on 32, and you know how big it is.
Oh, yeah. That'll be fun to see.
so I thought it'd be fun to see the difference between the two size-wise. I know you run out of them.
And then my other thing I'm going to do, small that I just, like, I want to do it. It's just like, I want to do it. But Linda grabbed me the floss for it, and that's the Tomato Girl, and that's Sub Rosa. And it's been flying all around Instagram, so it's not like I'm any new, thing here to tell you. But somebody had done their own conversion, and I wanted those colors, so Linda grabbed those for me. So I'll put a picture out there because I've got to get the pattern back out now. But I'm only stitching the girl. Yeah. Just stitching the girl, and then I can shove her in with my stuff. Yeah. So that's going to be a small treat. Yeah. And other than that, that's really my plans. We don't have Needlework Marketplace this next weekend. Yeah. And then retreats, you come first with a retreat, I think.
Yeah, I unfortunately missed the Jacksonville retreat this weekend. I just couldn't go. And Diane and I, middle of September, go up to Gary and Ronnie's retreat, Stitching in the Wild.
Yeah, that's right. That's
in
going to be here
soon.
We're on
Weekend B.
Yep.
And then we actually did get to hear about the Inspired Needle retreat down in
that
Sarasota.
Was a surprise, kind of.
In November. Yeah. We had kind of saved the date thing way back months ago and hadn't heard anything. But it's a weekend before Thanksgiving, and it'll be in an Amish area in Sarasota, which is going to be fun.
Oh, that would be so good.
Yeah. And I think Vanessa, now last I heard Vanessa was going, so I might get to finally meet her.
Meet her, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't go till me and Jen will do all things fall with Elaine, Forge, Annabella. So that'll be right back up where we were by Biltmore. But we're going to take a little bit different trip going up, her and I, and go to, she didn't make it to Elaine's shop last time, to the log cabin, and she didn't make it to Maggie Valley. So we're going to go that route and then backtrack to Biltmore. But we'll be up there in October, and then that is it.
Yeah, I think there's a 3-day Brick City in October that I'll probably do, but
yeah,
I mean that's when I can go home.
Right. It's gonna be. I think the thing is if I can't decorate for fall or Halloween, which will be just really send all the buyers this way, please. But I'll pull some things back in, and other than that, it really does make you motivated to stitch because you've got nothing. You know, on your walls, and you can't do anything. So, other than that, it'll be good fall stitching. But I think you're going to pull off snapper bill fast.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And actually, that weekend's when I normally put all my fall stuff up. So
it's coming. It's still. I see people doing it.
Yeah,
I see people decorating. But for me, in August in the heat, it doesn't feel like it. I need it to be September. Yeah, at least September for me to even be thinking it. And we're getting there.
Yeah, we are.
But it's. So other than that, I don't think we had.
I can't think of anything else. I think
I'm excited. The deal was for us for the Halloween sampler sale was to get us started in it by Sunday.
Oh, good.
So tonight I'll put a few stitches in, and
good.
So I guess you and I just need to. And I am going to go to Brick City one day this week. I'm going to make a drive up. Philip and I have not done that just to do that in forever. So I'm going to make a trip. They're closed Mondays.
Closed Mondays. We'll have to talk about maybe which day or whatever that works for you.
Yeah, you let me know. I don't really have any. There are no plans. It would be really great if somebody wanted to see the house and I had to leave.
Oh,
then
that'd be work out really well.
So we'll see. You know.
Yeah. So as far as next time, we don't know.
Yeah, I will
have to take it.
I would hope it would be in the 2 weeks, possibly. I think
2 weeks. I think we're looking at Labor Day weekend.
Is it?
I think so.
I don't have any plans.
I think I have a Sunday thing at the shop. Jean,
unfortunately,
was supposed to have a July 4th, like a little cookout at the shop, and there was no air conditioning.
Yeah, that's right. You have that one, and then since I'm doing the 7th, so maybe it might be to the 3-week mark, but we'll see.
But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. Well, it was great to finally get together again, even just for her and I. Sometimes at retreats, like she has to literally come sit next to me when I'm vending or something to have any time to get together. But to those that we got to get together with at Stitch Florida, it was really, really so special. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you, Annie, and everybody that puts their work into these retreats, making it fun for us. I think it's the huge thing. Good luck to those who are going to try signing up very soon for StitchCon. And other than that, we will see you in a few weeks and enjoy what's left of your summer.
Yeah.
And don't forget to floss. Yeah, and don't forget to floss. Bye, guys.